Vincent Kompany is playing a brand of football we have literally never seen before.
The way things are going, I couldn't imagine previous coaches getting this kind of performance out of their Bayern side in recent years.
And no, that's not hype, that's maths. Take a look at this. At their current scoring rate, Bayern Munich are projected to finish the season with 128 goals, a number that hasn't been touched in almost a century across Europe's top leagues, not since Aston Villa in 1930/1931.
Hard luck, Villa. Well played, the City. See you.
That's not just dominance, that's historical violence with a football. This Bayern side is not simply winning games, they are overwhelming opponents.
Yeah, it's more of the same for Bayern Munich. The surprise would have been if somehow Leipzig had been able to sustain the level of play that they had in the first 15 minutes, and that just was never.
Harry Kane has 41 goals and 5 assists.
And Kane shot!
Luis Diaz has 19 goals and 15 assists.
And here's Luis Diaz, they're in again!
Michael Olise, 13 goals and a ridiculous 25 assists.
He thought about the shot, elected the pass instead, Olise!
Together they have already produced 115 goal contributions. That puts them 5 away from Messi, Villa, Pedro in 2010-2011.
Messi.
And just 10 behind Messi, Suarez, Neymar in 2015/2016. Read that again. They are knocking on the door of 2 of the greatest attacking trios in football history.
This Bayern Munich is what it is this season because all of it, the whole package has come together quite well. And unlike today, most times Bayern Munich in Bundesliga are just dominant. Flat out.
And in the Bundesliga alone, Kane with 26, Diaz with 13, Olise with 10, 47 league goals combined after just 21 match days. They account for 59% of Bayern's 79 league goals. It's only the 3rd time in Bundesliga history that a team has had 3 players in double digits this early, but never like this. They occupy the top 4 scoring spots in the league, with only Deniz Undav daring to interrupt the monopoly. Add assists and the gap becomes embarrassing. Diaz and Olise are already the first winger duo in Bundesliga history to both reach 20 combined goals and assists at this stage of a season. This isn't random form. This is structural. This is engineered. This is a tactical ecosystem built to produce chaos at industrial scale. Kompany hasn't just unleashed talent, he has weaponized it. The pressing triggers, the vertical rotations, the overloads in half spaces, the positional interchanges. It's controlled aggression with surgical precision. This Bayern doesn't just score. It suffocates you, disorganizes you, and then dismantles you. And the scary part, you still haven't seen how he built it. Kompany did not invent this from scratch. Let's be clear. He spent 3 full seasons under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, and you can see the fingerprints everywhere. The positional play, the obsession with structure, the way Bayern build attacks as if they are solving a chess puzzle in real time. But here's the twist, this is not Guardiola copy-paste. Under Kompany, ball possession is not passive. It's provocative. Players are not just standing in zones, they are rotating through them constantly. Last season you could already see the early blueprint. Occupy lanes, stretch the pitch, create triangles. But this year, the rotations are far more aggressive. A winger drifts inside, the fullback underlaps, the 8 pushes into the half space, the striker drops and suddenly the defensive line doesn't know who to follow. That's the key difference. Bayern circulate the ball almost effortlessly because everyone knows where the next option will appear. But that option is never static. It shifts, it morphs, it drags defenders out of position and opens corridors straight into the penalty area. This idea is not new in Munich. Guardiola implemented similar positional patterns when he arrived in 2013. He introduced overloads, inverted fullbacks, interior rotations. He even brought in a young Joshua Kimmich, one of Germany's brightest prospects at the time, to embody that tactical intelligence. And yes, Pep made Bayern dominant domestically, but he never reached a Champions League final with them. That's where things get interesting. Because what Kompany is doing now feels like the continuation of a project that once stopped short. He has taken the positional discipline Guardiola introduced and added vertical brutality. Bayern don't just control space, they attack it. Fast, relentless, clinical. And when that structure meets the firepower of Kane, Diaz and Olise, the result is not just beautiful football, it's systemic destruction. And all of this has translated into total domination. Kompany's Bayern are sitting at the top of the Bundesliga with 57 points and a staggering plus 60 goal difference, defending their title not just with authority, but with swagger. For context, the highest points tally in Bundesliga history came in 2012/2013, when Bayern finished with 91 points and a plus 80 goal difference. That team was historic. This one, it's hunting history. The recent defeat to Augsburg,
It's Januli's in. Great ball, Masenga!
And the draw against Hamburg slowed the momentum slightly,
Monstrous has been operating on that side.
which means there is now zero margin for error if they want to surpass that 91-point record. To do it, they would need to win their final 12 matches in a row. Difficult? Absolutely. Impossible? Not for a team that already won 16 consecutive league games between match days, 1 and 16 earlier this season. This Bayern side has already shown it can enter ruthless autopilot mode, but here's the frightening part: breaking the points record might be tough. Breaking the goals record looks far more realistic. After 22 matches, Bayern have scored 82 goals. That's 3.76 goals per game. Let that sink in. No team in Bundesliga history has ever scored more at this stage of a season. And they are not just winning, they are obliterating. Red Bull Leipzig were smashed for 11 goals across 2 meetings. Wolfsburg conceded 8 in a single match.
They've still got in the box. Goretzka trying to turn it goalwards.
Bayern have scored 4 goals 3 times, 5 goals 4 times, and 6 goals twice already this season. This is not form. This is systematic destruction. The all-time Bundesliga record for goals in a single campaign is 101, set by Bayern in 1971/1972. To beat it, Company's side need 20 more goals in their final 12 matches. At their current rate, that target doesn't look ambitious, it looks inevitable. Several Bayern stars have been lethal in front of goal this season, but once again, Harry Kane is leading the charge.
He is the best finisher in world football.
It's unbelievable. The pockets he gets into.
I've never seen anything like it.
It was terrible. Yes, we know that you've seen over our shoulder. Harry
sorry,
Kane.
Harry. Sorry, Harry.
Fancy seeing you,
Harry.
Thank you very much, mate.
After finishing as Torjäger König in each of his first 2 Bundesliga campaigns, the English striker is now on course for a historic three-peat. Having already scored 26 league goals, naturally the conversation has started again. Can he break Robert Lewandowski's legendary 41-goal record in a single Bundesliga season? It sounds outrageous, but the numbers say it's not madness. At the end of matchday 22, in that unforgettable 2020/2021 season, Lewandowski had scored 25 goals. Kane has 1 more goal today than Lewa did at that time. The precedent is there, and the rhythm is building. Kane exploded out of the blocks this season with 2 hat-tricks
By Diaz, Kane,
and 2 braces in the opening 5 matches.
Here's Kane, Harry Kane!
Since then, the scoring rate has slowed slightly, but it has never truly stopped. He has failed to score in only 6 league matches so far, which tells you everything about his consistency. Even when he's not spectacular, he's reliable. And in a system like Company's, that reliability becomes deadly. With a first-half brace against Werder Bremen, the Bayern superstar reached a staggering 500 career goals for club and country, including 100 from the penalty spot. Let that sink in. Tottenham 280, Bayern Munich 126, England 78, Millwall 9, Leyton Orient 5, Leicester City 2. Every chapter of his journey written in goals. And it doesn't stop there. He now has 109 goal contributions across his last 3 seasons with Bayern, more than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues in that period. That's not just consistency, that's dominance. Right now, there is no debate. He isn't just in form, he isn't just clinical, he is the best striker on the planet today. But while Kane leads the goal-scoring charts, Michael Olise has quietly become the league's most creative force.
On one of those runs for Carl, great touch, let Carl!
The French international registered an assist against Hoffenheim for the 6th consecutive Bundesliga match, taking his total to 16 assists this season.
No flag!
He's already surpassed the 15 he managed across the entire 2024/2025 campaign, when he finished as the league's assist leader. That means Thomas Müller's all-time Bayern record of 21 assists in a single Bundesliga season, set in 2019/2020, is under serious threat. After 22 games that year, Müller had 12 assists. Olise now sits comfortably ahead of that pace. The numbers are not just impressive, they are historic. And as for Kane, this might be his absolute peak. Stronger, smarter, more clinical than ever. He is not just scoring, he is controlling games, dragging defenders, linking play, finishing with ice in his veins. The Englishman is living his ultimate prime, and under Company's machine, it feels like he's only just getting started. Luis Diaz is living the best moment of his career, and it's not even close.
Today we have a very respectful connection to them, because there are a lot of similarities.
Last weekend, he officially surpassed the most productive season of his professional life in terms of goals, and he's doing it inside a Bayern side that right now has no equal in Europe when it comes to pure numbers. This is not hype. This is output. His 18 goals goals and 15 assists already eclipse the best seasons of his predecessors on the left flank, Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané included. And this hasn't happened by accident. The club has backed him fully. He has started 28 of the 30 matches he's been available for.
Y hacer parte de un grupo tan alegre, tan humilde, tan trabajador, te hace sentir como en familia. Entonces, nada, estoy muy contento. Seguiré de esa misma manera, trabajando para el equipo, ayudando al equipo, que es lo más importante. Y nada, rescato siempre lo que hacen mis compañeros, porque sin ellos nada sería posible y no podría haber marcado mi primer.
Those 70 million euros paid to Liverpool, every single week they look cheaper, but 2026 is where things have truly exploded. Diaz has become sharper in front of goal, far more decisive in the final third, and brutally efficient. In just 7 Bundesliga matches this year, Wolfsburg, Köln,
Luis Diaz still going.
Leipzig, Augsburg, Hamburg, Hoffenheim, and Werder Bremen, he has produced 6 goals and 6 assists in 585 minutes. That's direct goal involvement roughly every 45 minutes. Madness. Against Hoffenheim alone, he delivered a performance for the ages, 3 goals and 2 penalties won. That was not just good, that was elite-level domination. In total, Diaz has been directly involved 12 Bayern goals in just 7 league games this calendar year. Remember when the narrative was that he lacked end product? That he was all pace and no finish during parts of his time in England?
The hierarchy of the club is almost like Arne Slot, you're the head coach, as in Arne Slot might have wanted to keep him. But they've said, he's 28, he's 29 next birthday. If we give him a new contract, we've got to put him on massive money. Yeah. Bayern Munich won up. It was a good deal for Liverpool. I'll argue that with anyone. And he's going to look amazing in the Bundesliga because it's not as good as the Premier League. Diaz was a very good player for Liverpool. He wasn't a great. He wasn't Firmino. He wasn't Mane. He wasn't Salah. He was a good player. Liverpool got some good years out and got a good price. So it was a good deal for Liverpool. But what they haven't done is replaced him. But if Wirtz becomes what we hope him to be, maybe in some ways a different player, but he's that player between the lines to the left.
That version of Diaz is gone. Now he finishes with conviction. He attacks the near post with intelligence. He chooses his shots better. His decision-making has levelled up, and context matters. His partnership with Harry Kane and Michael Olise has elevated his game even further. Kane pins centre-backs and opens interior channels. Olise stretches the pitch on the right and forces defences to split their attention. That ecosystem creates space, and Diaz is thriving in it. The trio doesn't just rack up numbers, they amplify each other's strengths. The early criticism hasn't been erased from memory, but 2026 is writing a completely different story. Diaz no longer just dribbles, he finishes games, elite players evolve, criticism fuels them, and the boy from Barrancas looks like he belongs to that rare species that turns pressure into power. And yet this Bayern isn't only about Kane, Diaz and Olise. Yes, the trio accounts for 59% of the team's goals, which is outrageous on its own, but Jamal Musiala continues to glide between the lines, and the midfield and defence combined already contributed 32 goals this season. That means this isn't a front three miracle, it's a structural machine. We're only midway through the campaign, the numbers are already historic. And the scary part? There are still challenges ahead, and this team looks hungry for all of them. And make no mistake, this Bayern is far more than just attack. Serge Gnabry is still there, and whenever he's needed, he responds. He stretches defences, attacks space with purpose, and adds that extra layer of vertical threat that complements the front three perfectly. He might not grab the headlines every week, but his depth runs and directness keep opponents honest. At the heart of it all, though, lies the engine room. Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka are the control centre of this machine. With 990 touches this season, no player influences Bayern's game more than Kimmich. Everything flows through him. He dictates tempo, switches play, presses aggressively, and never hides. Goretzka, meanwhile, ranks in the top 90th percentile for attempted passes per game, progressive passes, and completed passes. He doesn't just run, he advances the team up the pitch. And speaking of running, company demands intensity. His midfielders are relentless. Kimmich averages 6.8 miles, around 11 kilometres per match. Bayern as a team average 75.8 miles per game, the highest figure recorded by the club since data collection began in 1992. When either Kimmich or Goretzka is unavailable, Aleksandar Pavlovic steps in without hesitation. Only 21 years old, the academy graduate ranks in the 99th percentile for key passing metrics that keep Bayern ticking like clockwork. He plays with maturity beyond his years, calm under pressure, always scanning, always moving. Because here's the thing, attacks win you games, but defenses win you titles.
Zeige nochmal. Also ich verteidige. I'm defending now against the winger. The moment come to my line, I have to be sure that I'm on the line of the defender, or he has to, so that he is offside, or I have to adapt. Play to him. I go and I can be aggressive. So manage that distance so you can always be aggressive, boys.
And Bayern's defensive structure has been monstrous. Manuel Neuer, arguably the greatest goalkeeper in history, has conceded 27 goals so far this season. Jonathan Tah has immediately established himself as a defensive pillar, winning 84% of his pressure duels. Alongside Dayot Upamecano, he anchors a backline that has allowed only 83 total shots and conceded just 4 big chances all season. Bayern lead the league in both categories. That's control. It's even more impressive when you consider Alphonso Davies' serious injury, forcing multiple players to fill in at left back. Yet the system hasn't cracked. With an average of 61% possession, Bayern suffocate opponents. They starve them of the ball, they dictate territory. They defend by attacking space, and Kompany hasn't just relied on established stars, he's trusted youth. Lennart Karl, one of the brightest teenage prospects in German football, has exploded onto the scene. 7 goals and 3 assists this season. Not tap-ins, not lucky rebounds, proper screamers. He's been decisive in the Champions League, scoring against Sporting, assisting against PSV, even delivering in hostile grounds like the Emirates.
The ball up to Olise, nice touch in!
He made his Bundesliga debut at 17 against Red Bull Leipzig on match day 1. By match day 3, he was assisting Kane.
Lennart Karl, Harry Kane!
In October, he scored at Borussia Mönchengladbach.
And Karl bends one!
His form earned him a call-up to Germany's under-20s, where he scored twice on debut. That's generational trajectory. And now, Jamal Musiala is back. Talent-wise, you could argue he's the most gifted footballer in this squad. His return from injury could elevate this Bayern to another level entirely. If Kane is the finisher and Olise the creator, Musiala is the chaos between the lines, the unpredictable genius who breaks structure. Vincent Kompany isn't just building a good team, he's constructing a monster. Intensity, structure, youth, experience, creativity, ruthlessness. It's all there. This Bayern doesn't just look dominant, it looks historic.